Hello. Benjamin Glorieux is a very famous cellist, and he would love to play cello while he's walking. In order to do that, he needs a cello strap. So we were asked to design a cello strap, and of course, it's a very beautiful and costly instrument. We don't want the cello to fall on the floor. So it's very important that the materials that we use for the strap are very reliable, but also that the connections we make, that the fasteners we use, and the joining techniques are very reliable and very solid, very strong. So I decided to make my research on that. So I researched different fabrics, the strength of different fabrics, I researched the strength of fasteners, and also the joining techniques. As a hypothesis for my research project, I used a quote of Benjamin Glorieux as inspiration. Actually, one of his shows in 2017 was called Normal Gets You Nowhere. I used that as an inspiration. It would be very normal to use a kind of polyester webbing kind of strap with buckles, squeeze buckles, and with stitching as a joining method. That would be very obvious, very normal. But I think Benjamin Glorieux is not that normal, me neither. So I wanted to look for other types of materials, fasteners, and joining methods that are appropriate, that are strong, that are appropriate for a cello strap. So that was my hypothesis: is there are other combinations possible. So my report has three parts. There is a part desk research, there is a part testing, and then there are the results and the conclusions and what will I take along with me in the next steps of designing the cello strap. Desk research have different parts. So there's one on the strength of materials and fabrics. There's a part on the type of fasteners, just to get an overview of what is existing as fasteners. What are different joining techniques? What are the testing setups and the standards that are being used, and also made some research on the material joining techniques and fasteners used in existing harnesses, not only for music instruments, but also in other industries. I will not elaborate or show in detail all the research that I've done, but I would like to share with you the insights of some of the insights that I have. To be honest, the desk research was for me more orientating, just to have a broader view on straps, on materials, on fasteners. It's not that I had a aha, it's not that I discovered a lot of new things, but I have some insights that I would like to share with you. One of them is that you can investigate separately the fasteners, the joining methods, and the materials, the strength of it, but it's only the combination that determines the strength of your strap. So it's like being in a group, you're only as strong as the weakest link. Another thing is that external testing companies exist, and they are widely used when you are designing a product. They learned me a lot about the test setup. So how should I, well, if I want to test the strength of materials, what is the kind of setup that I can use, or what are the tools that I have to use? So that helped me a lot. But I also wondered, if you're designing a product, how do you know what are the requirements for testing, and how do you know whether you have to meet certain requirements, yes or no? So that's something I was wondering during the research. Then another thing is that for fasteners, I think fasteners are very important for the usability of a product. But for example, the joining method is maybe for the user less important unless he's a very detailed person. But I think the joining method is very, very important during production. So it can really determine your production process and also the costs of your production, or maybe also the flow of how the thing is being produced. The second part is testing. So what did I do? This is my setup. I bought at Decathlon a kind of luggage weighter, a scale to weigh my luggage. It's up to 50 kg. And I used a little bench with a hole in it. So I was able to attach different fabrics, different fasteners, different joining techniques on that scale instrument. And I pull, so I hang a weight on it equal to 30 kg. Where does the 30 kg come from? 30 kg comes from the 3 kg of the cello, the weight of the cello, and I multiplied by 10 just to take into account the impact. So the independent variables are what I changed. So what did I change? As I mentioned before, I changed fabrics, I changed fasteners, and I changed the joining methods. What did I control? I kept stable, so I controlled the weight that I put on the fabric fastener and joining method. I kept it at 30 kg. And the dependent variable is what I observe. And I observed three things. Is it breaking or is it not breaking? What is the length difference? So if you pull at something, the material gets longer. And see what is the overall visual appearance of the product. What materials did I test? I test 100% polyester, 100% cotton, 100% felt, and 100% leather. Fasteners that I tried or I experimented with is Velcro, glued, press studs that are sewed, buckle that is sewed, Velcro sewed, and hook and loop sewed. The joining methods were ultrasound welding, sewing, and gluing. These are the results from the fabric tests. So you see polyester, cotton, leather, and felt are put together. And what is the result? That I can rule out 100% to use felt for the strap. Why? Because it broke at 20 kg. So using felt as a material for a strap, for a shallow strap, is not okay. Then if I have to put them in order, I think the leather, I know that the leather, then the polyester, and then the cotton are appropriate. That ranking is based on my I value, so on the level of expansion, the extra length that the material got by pulling on it. The test results of the fasteners, I put the 5 scenarios next to each other, and what can I conclude? The press studs are not suitable. Why are they not suitable? Because they broke at 1.2 kg already. So the press studs that I used in my strap are certainly not okay. Another conclusion, that for the Velcro glued, it also broke at 10 kg, but the fastener was okay, so the Velcro was okay, but it is the gluing that is the problem. So that is why I also put scenario D, a scenario where the Velcro is stitched. And then I see that the system is okay. The joining techniques, I put stitching, ultrasound welding, and gluing next to each other. And my conclusion is that ultrasound welding and gluing is not suitable for my strap, because the ultrasound welding, it broke at 15 kg, and the gluing broke at 17 kg. These are my insights. So what are the possible combinations? You know, from the joining techniques, only sewing, stitching was okay. Then from the fasteners, we know that the Velcro was okay, the hooks and the loops were okay, and the buckle was okay. And then in terms of material, only felt did not succeed. So in fact, all the combinations on top of the red line are possible, knowing that some of the combinations with cotton polyester are less strong than others. So that brings me to my, wrong position. It brings me to my hypothesis, namely that there are other types of material fasteners and joining methods possible, next to the polyester webbing and the squeeze buckles that are being stitched to the fabric. Yes, my conclusion is yes, there are different combinations possible, different materials, different joining methods, and different fasteners to make a reliable strap. My research gave me the courage and assurance to develop or to design the shallow strap, knowing that the materials that I was using were strong enough to hold the shallow. It allowed me to try things and to leave my shallow and not being scared that it would fall on the ground. So how would I like to proceed? I know materials that I can use. I know what are the combinations that I can use and that are strong enough. So I would like to continue with the leather and with Velcro. Why leather? Leather was the strongest out of my research, out of my testing, and also the Velcro. You have different kind of Velcro, so I can still improve on that and do more tests. But I know that the Velcro that I already have is already enough, is already okay. The shallow that Benjamin Glorieux is playing on is a shallow of 300 years old. So it has a lot of charisma, and I think leather is also something or a product that gets more beautiful over age. So in line with the shallow, I would like to proceed with the leather and the Velcro. But knowing that the materials that I'm working with are strong enough to hold my shallow, I feel confident enough to make propositions and to give prototypes to Benjamin. Thank you for watching.